So all these reports that got leaked, right? And really making it seem like the Penner family who owns Walmart, right? That they had struck out basically, and they had to take this big swing. It's the new ownership group. They failed with Hackett. You got to get this one right. Once Harbaugh was going back to Michigan, it was Sean Payton or bust. And Payton could basically let this play out in the court of public opinion and let the Broncos, the ownership group, take all the slings and arrows from the press and from fans and from the media. Basically, like, this had to happen, and he knew it. I'm sure he's making like $22 million a year to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos. That would be my guess. So he played this as well as anyone could play anything. So credit to Sean Payton. Not a betting take, just like that's the kind of stuff that goes on behind the scenes in the National Football League. I know because I worked in the NFL for more than a decade. Just like knee-jerk reaction, first take football-wise here. You mentioned on the show yesterday, Ken, you gave a shout out to our buddy Plus EV Analytics on Twitter, right? Who like did the study on teams that retain a head coach but have like new coordinators, right? And the Chargers would fall under that umbrella now with Brandon Staley remaining as the head coach,
and
Joe
Dallas.
Lombardi out, Kellen Moore, the Dallas Cowboys also, right? So the Chargers going to bring in this new offensive coordinator. And maybe the Chargers will be better than the Broncos next year. I feel like that's going to be like everyone's going to be on the Chargers again. And maybe this is the year that they get it done, or maybe it's not. It is hard to put into words, even if you're not the biggest Sean Payton fan, and you think maybe you think it's like Drew Brees and like he's slightly overrated as a coach. Maybe you think that. Like, I don't think you can overstate the upgrade that it is from Nathaniel Hackett to Sean Payton. It is absolutely massive. That defense has young talent, maybe of the best cornerback in football right now in Patrick Surtain. Like, they're still going to need some pieces to get this thing right. And Russell Wilson, for as poorly as he played early in the year, and I'm not going to make this not like a Russell Wilson apology tour. He was terrible. He did play pretty well down the stretch. He had some, like the Christmas game against the Rams notwithstanding, where he's probably like, hey, I just want to get Hackett fired, get him out of here. Let's lose 51-14 to Baker Mayfield on the Rams on Christmas. Like, he played well down the stretch in 2 games against Kansas City. Like, I think Russell Wilson could have a better year next year. Maybe he'll never reach like the dizzying heights that'll one day get him into Canton as an NFL Hall of Famer with the Seahawks. But like, I kind of on the surface, I like this move a lot for the Broncos. I think this makes them playoff viable instantly to have Sean Payton in. With that roster?
Sure. Well, let's do a couple hypotheticals. None of the markets on Denver or any team are open right now. Win total, division, awards. The Super Bowl hasn't been played yet. None of this stuff's open. And we haven't even awarded this year's MVP, Patrick Mahomes. We haven't given him the trophy yet. And that'll happen next Tuesday. A week from today, I think is honors. So let's frame it as like, what would you need to bet blank? So why don't we do, there's like a few of these. Like, what number would you need to bet over on the Denver Broncos win total? How low would it have to be for you to bet the over? Sounds like you're pretty bullish on this operation working too.
I think the win total will be 8.5 next year for Denver.
I think it'll be higher than that.
Ooh.
I think it'll be at least 9.
Okay. What would you do at 9? Nothing?
Probably bet the over, but I'd have to think about it. They have an incredible home field advantage. And I agree with you on Wilson completely. Not that he will, because we're going to get to that too, at the Wilson part of this. But I mean, maybe it opens less than that and I'm crazy. I don't know. I mean, they had like the second best statistical defense in football. And now you go from Hackett to Wilson. The win total last year was like 10. And I know they sucked, but like, I don't even care what the season was. I care about what the expectation was almost. Because now Peyton like is what the best version of Hackett was going to be. So why are the expectations worse? The defense was better than we thought. Maybe it's high. Maybe it's 9.5.